Tick-tock to the broken clock that she can't seem to fix. It's hanging on the wall of these four walls in a place where time no longer exists. Her heartbeat is always silent, so sometimes she puts her hand against her chest to remind herself that it's still beating. And sometimes she reopens her wounds to reassure herself that she's truly healing. And she says, maybe if I don't eat today, maybe it'll take away the pain. She says, maybe if I try to be someone other than me today, maybe I won't feel so estranged. She thinks if she agrees that we impact each other's lives, she'll understand why she's always to blame. When that didn't work, she became silent until she became invisible, tried her very best to stay forgettable. And God, how she hated being home with her parents in their drinking. The alcohol starts to hit their system. At that time, no one is thinking. Hears loud voices, runs into the room and can't believe what she's seeing. Her father pushed her mother to the ground. She hit her head on the metal stool on her way down. Her first instinct is to run to her mother with tears rolling down her face. Calls for her mother, shakes her arm, but she doesn't answer to her own name. It's the 9th time the police are knocking at their door. She speaks to them as she picks up blood and glass off of the floor. And that day she made a promise to herself that she'd never pick up a bottle. It's been 7 years now and she's still that same role model. There was a time she almost gave in when the rain became too hard to contain. She needed a quick fix, anything to escape the pain. 'Cause she's just a little girl with the world on her shoulders, contemplating the day she decides that it's over. And there's no time to sleep. She's got to go to school and deal with her peers. Threats and abuse was the usual throughout her middle school years. They called her anorexic and told her to kill herself. She gets it. She's ugly and pathetic. How many times are you going to remind her of herself? And that's how she always felt, like everything was wrong with her. They wasted no words telling her what was wrong with her. Soon her enemies became her family, and pretty soon then she became her own enemy until being treated like a mistake became her normality. And she couldn't see any reason for anyone treating her different. When people were genuinely kind, she didn't know how to respond to it. She accidentally pushed them away and lied to herself and said she was fine with it. She spent years contemplating suicide, just trying to make sure what she felt was true inside, trying to express emotion through the pain that she hides. She couldn't fix herself with the razors, bruises, and starvation, so she turned away from God, started causing havoc with Satan. Never understood why her family never reached out to her. Grandma grabbed a hold of her arms and asked, "What is wrong with her?" When she cried, her mother never showed support, just asked, as a mother, how does this make herself look? When the counselor said she has cuts on her body, her mother wouldn't even look her in the eyes. Went home and was awakened at night by her mother's and father's cries. She promised them she wouldn't cut, try to satisfy them with her lies. What is that? It's a scratch from the cat. It just looks like a cut, but they knew that was a lie. She spent her best years in the offices of counselors and doctors because she's all cut up and it looks like she's been slaughtered. The therapists made it clear they didn't care and no help was ever offered. Her mind rots, her soul rots. Everyone bothers her, yet when it comes to her, no one can be bothered. She spent 9 years trying to be someone who never existed. Another night hating herself for not being someone unrealistic. She distanced herself from the world because she's a square and in their circle she doesn't fit. But they say it's because she thinks she's better than them and they label her as a... But their words cannot define her. She can never be one simple thing. I mean, how could she be with the clustered galaxies pumping through her veins? She likes the rain because it's never afraid to touch her skin. Though her scars may appear ugly to others, she's completely unashamed of them because it's a reminder of all the mountains she's crossed and the places she's been. And despite all of it, she's still here to tell the story. No more shrinking herself to fit into someone else's story. Every morning she awakens, she gives thanks for the life that she lives. In all honesty, she's grateful for the things that happen. Without it, she can't imagine who or where she would have been.